Okay, I only got about a few hours before I have to go to work. So, let's just quickly watch this video by Awada. Muldoon's Log, Volume 1. Jurassic Park found footage. VHS, Analog Horror. Hey. Okay, sounds interesting. Okay, like, subscribe. Let's watch the video. Oh boy.
Robert Muldoon, Game Warden, Isla Nublar. Feeding procedure for Velociraptor anteropis. The date is September 1st, 91. I'm standing here at the raptor enclosure prior to the evening feeding cycle. I will now document the feeding process, which I think is not as efficient as I would like.
Right.
There are still many things that need smoothing out, but I want to keep it professional and objective in this log. Here, at the entry gates, we have a staggered system whereby doors can only be opened once further doors have been locked, similar to the double doors of a walk-through aviary in any zoo, where visitors close one door before opening the other to prevent birds from escaping. The birds in here, however, won't just escape, they'll gut you to death. But
Whoa.
like I said, the system needs refining. As it stands currently, only selected carnivore handlers and myself are permitted to feed the raptors. Let me show you how that's done. The authorized handler will use his swipe card to enter the buffer enclosure with a live animal, usually a cow. We've tried feeding the raptors beef, lamb, chicken, pig, you name it, but they won't touch the stuff. They need living prey because they want to hunt. They want to coordinate and take down a live animal. So we've resorted to bringing in a cow or a goat once every 3 days or so.
Yeah.
The handler will lead the cow into this enclosure. This buffer enclosure is double fenced with a steel barricade internally and then a 10,000 volt electric fence externally, mounted on concrete slabs which extend 10 feet underground to prevent the raptors digging.
You know, that makes so much sense, man.
The enclosure, as you can see, is fortified on both sides and from above to prevent the raptors leaping, because they're astonishing jumpers, easily clearing 10 feet plus. Now this is the actual feeding enclosure, and again the handler uses his swipe card at the scanner to open the gates like so. This pen opens up to the Velociraptor exhibit that visitors will see on the tour once the park is up and running. So that means where I am standing now is the rear of the raptor exhibit, out of sight from the Explorer Tour track. I personally don't think any child visiting this park should see a 6-foot reptile eviscerating a poor cow, and that's why we feed them away from public eyes.
Yeah, nightmare fuel.
Once the cow is brought into this pen, the handlers exit, locking this gate, and then proceed out the buffer enclosure. It is only once both gates have been closed and the handler is safely behind 2 locked gates that the raptors are permitted to enter this enclosure and feed. This fence, as well as the electric fence beyond,
No, don't
slide
continue. What was
open,
that?
and the raptors enter where I am currently standing. For obvious reasons, I will not open this gate. But that is essentially the gist of how we currently feed the raptors here, while the construction of the raptor pen a little further away reaches completion, and we transport the pack there.
Gosh, this is such an
Now,
interesting
if we look
concept.
out into the raptor enclosure, there are 5 female animals in here. We bred 8 originally, and then 2 more were cloned on Sauna, but 1 did not survive transport to the park, leaving 1 big one to join the pack in here. When she came in, she took over the pride, killing half the original brood.
Really?
Just 4 days ago, the big one killed a smaller raptor, so I'm always watching her. I don't believe we'll spot any of them right now, and that's probably because they are nocturnal animals, as are a lot of predators today. I've had many discussions with John about feed timing and whatnot, and possibly switching to nocturnal feeding, as daytime may cause stress and agitated behaviors. The last thing we want is an agitated velociraptor, believe me.
Oh, it's gonna happen.
And on that note,
A jump
that
scare.
completes this log of the feeding procedures.
You have to prepare yourselves.
What the? Is that another? Shit.
What?
So as I documented earlier this afternoon, another raptor was killed. She was removed from the enclosure by a chopper, which was a disaster. She sustained a massive laceration to her underside and bled out. My guess is the big one took her out, but the enclosure cameras didn't catch it. There's only so many cameras you can place across an enclosure the size of several football fields covered in dense vegetation. The surveillance footage from last night, after the dead raptor was removed, only raised more questions. I noticed the remaining 3 females being very busy,
I saw it.
but I couldn't spot the big one. Anyway, another one down. 4 remaining raptors. I'll document the raptor pack dynamics tonight. They're bound to change after another member dies.
Get back in your cage, bro. If you know what's good for you.
They go at the fence every night, never attacking the same place twice. They test the fences for weaknesses systematically. They learn and they remember.
Oh, here we go. Oh.
That big one is a real problem. She's costing Hammond hundreds of thousands. When she was introduced, the dynamics of the pack changed significantly. Dominant from the start and absolutely lethal to any raptor that did not fall in line. She shows extreme intelligence, even problem-solving intelligence. That one, when she looks at you, you can see she's working things out. She doesn't test the fences anymore. She watches the others do it for her. They obey her completely. She directs them. I've seen that look before in lions and wolves, but not in reptiles. It's not instinct. It's something else.
Where you going, bro? Hey, take it easy, man. Take it easy. Easy, man. Easy.
She's making plans at the moment, and the other raptors are awaiting instructions. This is the big one in the back. And now that they know there's something in the feeding enclosure,
look how
we
they
might get to see
bro.
what I came here for.
What?
Their communication is far more advanced than reptiles of today. There's verbal cues and sounds, but there's also eye movements and tail twitches. One thing about the big one is she's fairly stoic in her communication style. She's aggressive when she wants to be, but is not as animated as the others.
Yeah,
She'll stand still and stare directly into your eyes for hours. The others I describe as more bird-like in their behavior, with erratic movements. Oh, here we go. She's chosen one of them, and they're off.
Oh!
These two are a few years old, and they seem to be the most loyal to the big one. They seem to be quite obedient to her. But where did she go? See, that's what she does. She gives out orders and then sits back and watches. And these two clowns do her bidding. never seen one of them make contact with the fence for such a long time. Jesus Christ, I think she fried herself. You were here to distract me. Clever girl.
Clever girl. Oh man.
The following morning, the big one and her 2 remaining minions were tranquilized so that our vets could enter the enclosure and inspect the raptor's injuries.
Go to sleep. That's a good girl.
She sustained 3rd-degree burns to all 4 limbs and lacerations to her mouth before being hurled some 40 feet away from the electric fence. She smelled of charred meat.
Delicious.
Consequently, she died. This raptor in particular was far younger than the others. My guess is the big one picked on her specifically to test another region of the electric fence. This one mustn't have had the experience that the other raptors had and couldn't manage to execute the task without frying herself in the process. I would almost feel sympathy for her if I didn't have an obsessive need to have them all destroyed before one of them eventually figures out how to escape their enclosure. And there she goes. That's our boned raptor. Adios. To hell with a lot of you. Now there's some checks I need to get done before I can follow the team over to wherever they'll take the dead raptor. The other girls were tranked with a ketamine dart, a general fast-acting anesthetic used to immobilize wildlife, along with xylazine, a sedative, to keep the raptors asleep for when we need to work with them. Now, despite how much I wish they all perished, unfortunately, I do have to check on how they are taking to the tranquilizers. Because one, if I don't, Hammond will strangle me with his bare hands, bless his soul. He's left the island for a short trip to see his daughter. And 2, side effects are common for these drugs, so it's imperative that we check on the animals after administering any medication. The last thing I want is to have to tell John that we lost 2 raptors in his absence. This is one of the big one's minions, the younger of the 2. John calls her Storm, because when she attacks the fence, she puts on an electrical display akin to lightning. I'm not expecting any adverse reactions to have occurred with her, as she's generally in good health. She's been tranked some half a dozen times before too, so I'm not concerned. But we'd always double check and look for the classic adverse reaction profile just in case. The major one is eyes open. The anesthetic ketamine causes a state called catalepsy, a trance-like state, where the animal appears immobile but still maintains certain reflexes. The muscles around the eyes sometimes don't fully relax and may remain completely or partially open. In this case, as you can see, her eyes are closed, so I'm not concerned about her recovery from the drug. Another sign to look for is increased salivation.
Okay.
I'm definitely not going to handle her muzzle, but judging by the distinct lack of saliva surrounding her jaw, I'd say she's good.
Oh.
All right, the big one next.
It's wearing off!
Robbie, get out of there. She's still drowsy.
Don't miss.
Robbie, are you clear?
Yeah, it's locked.
The trank and the sedative are wearing off. Is everyone out? Where's Tony?
Yeah, he's safe.
Okay, good. Get into the buffer enclosure and wait for me. I've never seen an animal recover so quickly from a dart. She's still probably got another hour or so of disorientation and drowsiness. but I'm going to back away and exit right now. Christ, I've shot male African elephants in Kenya who took much longer to recover from that sedative. Might have something to do with the osteoderms on the skin, similar to those seen on crocs and alligators. A very tough hide to penetrate. The dart must have found some entry point, but the complete dose mustn't have been administered. I don't know what Wu's cooking up in that lab, but I'd imagine Mongoliensis did not possess osteoderms. But then again, this is no velociraptor. This is John and Henry's theme park Frankenstein mishmash monster. Pacing behaviors are often observed in animals in captivity. The repetition of this behavior usually correlates to an animal's instinctive needs, such as space, stimulation, or the thrill of pursuit, are constrained or not met entirely. What may appear to visitors as restless movement is in fact a complex behavioral signal, a blend of frustration, heightened intelligence, and an unfulfilled drive to hunt. Among the raptors of Jurassic Park, this manifests in a particularly calculated form. The dinosaurs stalk the boundaries of their enclosure, almost on a timed loop. What's interesting is, at certain points during the night, the big one will stand in one dedicated spot. What she does next shocked me the first time I saw it.
What happened?
She appears to be calling to something outside the enclosure.
Oh. Girl, don't do that. Bro. Oh,
And here
no,
she
bro.
is in
No.
all her glory. The Velociraptor pen. Not complete, of course. The guys are due to come in a little later, do some horticulture inside. John has them brought over from mainland Costa Rica, spared no expense, of course. I wanted to document some gripes I have with this place. The pen is 70 feet long by 40 feet wide and is buried in the ground 12 feet. The girls are being transported into this enclosure a few days from now. The guys coming tonight are supposed to be planting this pen up with foliage to give the raptors privacy to mitigate stress and provide some shade from the sun. It is essentially a concrete pit in the ground with an electrified fence ceiling. Unhappy with fortified concrete, as it's almost impossible for the raptors to escape. Almost. Let's head inside.
But I wonder how
So I can
long did
reveal
it
my
take to build
issues.
this thing?
And boy, other issues. If we come around here, this is the transport door. It allows the transportation container to attach to the pen and a smooth transition to take place, which I love. Inside, here is our new raptor enclosure. Not huge, and that's one of my concerns. We're talking about ambush pack hunters, 3 of them, constrained to living quarters not much larger than your average apartment in Leeds in the UK. These are wild animals that have needs and furthermore are highly intelligent animals.
Yeah.
And what happens to highly intelligent animals kept in cramped conditions? They display disordered behaviors. They need space to run. After all, they're not called velociraptors for no reason. These things can match cheetah speeds, 50, 60 miles an hour if they get out in the open. My other concern is why the bloody hell has John approved this containment pen to them anyway? Are raptors not on the tour anymore? Why are they being cloned if their temperament is counterproductive to the park's turnover? It doesn't make sense to me.
Man, human beings, bro.
Anyway, my last concern is this. This is the remote-controlled door that is supposed to let the feeders drop a live cow into the pen using a crane. A big, gaping hole in the enclosure that opens several times a week. Just marvelous. She's on her side.
What are her symptoms, Muldoon?
I'm not in close proximity to examine her, Jerry, and I can't get in there at the moment. I'm heading over to the raptors to help Robbie.
Okay, I'll head over soon.
Thanks, Jerry.
Thanks,
problem.
Jerry.
Good luck at dinner.
Yeah, thanks. Bye.
He's a good guy, Jerry. I like him. what
Ay,
happened
ay,
to
ay.
Ay, ay, ay.
Robert Muldoon, Game Warden, Velociraptor Containment, Isla Nublar. It's the evening of September 9th. I'm documenting the raptor feeding protocol. It started raining, but after a long conversation with John, I have finally been granted permission to perform the procedure at night. Took a bit of back and forth, and some nasties were exchanged. He called me an alarmist. I called him a mad scientist, but at the end of the day, no hard feelings either way. I think this will help with raptor aggression.
What is happening?
I have Robbie Hadira with me, and he's got tonight's dinner ready.
Her name
My
is
little
Mildred.
beefcake.
Robbie has been warned that naming the
So
food
cute.
items for the carnivals on this island is an exceptionally bad idea, as it
Yeah, it is a
psychologically
bad
creates
idea.
an attachment with the animal, and then you're forced to watch their final moments of life at the hands of the velociraptors. Robbie and I
Oh,
are
you're
now
gonna be
standing
eaten.
back within the buffer enclosure, and in the feeder we've left Bessie.
Mildred.
We've left the poor soul.
Oh, Bessie the cow.
Once the prey is in the feeder, the handler will exit the buffer.
Bye, Mildred. So sad.
Oh, it'll definitely be a sad farewell soon, Robbie. Now, I want to make note here in particular. It is definitely unusual that the raptor pack has not approached the feeder yet. They are normally pacing about, studying their new prey item eagerly. But then again, this is the very first time we're doing this at night, so they may not be aware of what's happening entirely. I'm going
Okay.
to turn this off and watch for the raptors before proceeding out the buffer and locking both gates. Like I said, they are normally quite excited at this point, attacking the fences.
Oh, man.
So this is a
R.I.P..
little odd, I must say. The feeder doors have been opened, yet still no sign of the raptor pack. Bessie's unknownly wandered out. In the enclosure,
Poor Mildred.
we might as
Yeah.
well call her dead meat at this point. Robbie and I are watching the hunt from the perimeter. I have to add, this is the longest the raptors have taken to respond to prey in their enclosure.
Where are they?
Oh, man. Poor beefcake.
Ah!
Oh!
I see Storm and her sister. And there's the big one. She's going to make the first strike. What the? Robbie, run to the Jeep and radio Arnold.
Yep.
What? No, 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 no. Where did you go? No, damn. Arnold, you've got some explaining to do.
Robert, calm down. There's probably some sort of misunderstanding.
Run the count right now.
I am. One moment. The computer is analyzing. Okay, done. Total animals expected, 238. Total animals found, 238. Everything's accounted for.
Give me the raptor numbers, Ray.
Velociraptor, total number expected, 4. Total number found, 4.
How can that be, Ray? We have 3 velociraptors.
Well, Wu did approve the transfer of one juvenile from the nursery to the enclosure recently, so that makes 4 Muldoon.
He what? 1? Why the hell would he not inform me about that approval?
Muldoon.
And 2, does he even realize that we shrank 3 raptors before entering the enclosure? I had Robbie and Tony in there. And you're telling me there was a 4th animal in there with us?
Muldoon, calm down.
Don't tell
What
me
do
to
you mean?
calm down. Do you understand that this could have gone incredibly bad?
The new addition was young, only 8 months old. Wu wanted her to begin to integrate into the pack.
They're lethal at 8 months, Ray, and I do mean lethal. And secondly, there was
Secondly?
no juvenile.
Yeah.
That was
Oh
an
man,
adult.
that's creepy. Directly into the.
Last night was basically a big, heated screaming match. I wanted to put Wu in a chokehold. Christ, the nerve of him to think he can make such decisions without consulting me. I've told Hammond multiple times that the ones that hide indoors behind their computer screens need to keep the people who actually venture out into the park in the loop. Especially with something so non-brainer like introducing a new animal into an enclosure. Double especially if we need to enter said enclosure. Christ, power has gotten to his head, that Wu. Such a brazen lack of accountability. Anyway, I don't want to make these logs about my rants. So I'm out here at the raptor enclosure this morning. I wanted to capture this new juvenile with the others. I don't care what Ray Arnold and Henry Wu said. I know what I saw. Robbie saw it too. Good thing I caught it on camera, albeit for a few seconds. That thing was an adult, and I'll die on that hill. An 8-month-old wouldn't be more than 2 feet tall. Meanwhile, I wanted to showcase this particular behavior. Here's our 3 girls. I expected them to be sleeping. I'm very interested to see this. Notice how they are resting. I've seen a similar thing in chimpanzees in Nairobi,
Yeah.
where a family group will rest in a somewhat flexibly organized formation. The raptors here always settle into a rigid arrangement. It's always like this, with the big one in the center and the others by her sides, adopting a more defensive stance at the perimeter.
Wow.
Almost a
The
military
more
formation.
the more you know.
Granted, I should have documented this when there were more than 3 raptors present. That would have illustrated my point more definitively. One other thing to note is they always face the same direction when in this formation. It still puzzles me why. They roughly face northeast, always like that.
Wow, this is intense.
One last observation. I don't see this so-called new juvenile from last night. I've been here since sunrise and nothing. I've tried to look back through the surveillance camera and motion sensor data from last night. I could not see anything.
It was
I
raining
hate that
torrents, so I
transition.
couldn't get anywhere near it last night.
And what did you hear exactly?
I couldn't be sure over the sound of the rain and thunder, but they were all bellowing loudly. And you know Martha and the gang, they're normally pretty silent, so I decided that it was too dangerous to head over in the storm.
Okay. Well, I've arrived. I'll have a look.
I'd be down there myself, Muldoon, but John's asked for a full write-up about the stegosaur from yesterday.
What happened with her?
She's dead.
She's dead.
Yeah, and the others were far away from her on the other side of their paddock. When I got inside, I saw little bite marks all over her underside, like something had tried to eat her.
Compies.
Most likely. But could have been anything. There's rats and a bunch of small carnivorous animals all over the island.
Yes, well, I don't see anything out of the ordinary, Jerry.
Okay, then they were probably just rowdy last night during the storm.
Oh, wow.
Ooh.
What is it?
You won't believe this, Jerry. She's fallen into the moat.
What?
Oh, that's a damn shame.
Let me get a closer look.
Are you gonna do
Is
that?
that her I hear?
No,
Go around
that's
the corner.
someone else.
Yeah. Let's get a better look.
It's Martha.
She must be upset.
Hello, Martha. Wait, I don't know my dinosaurs. What is that? Ouch.
Yeah, Jerry, I think the fall has killed her. She seems pretty busted. I can see what looks like a broken forelimb.
Damn it. The Euplocephalus never approached the moats. That's so strange.
How did this happen, buddy?
I don't know.
No, I'm talking to Martha.
Get her to give you a full statement, okay?
Something must have spooked her, maybe. or she got disoriented during the thunder last night. I'm going to need a crane out here ASAP, Jerry.
Yeah, will do.
Ay, ay, ay.
Ay, ay,
They're
ay.
usually pretty good about staying away from the moats. They don't even like to step off 1-foot boulders.
I'm in the moat. Is someone coming down with a crane, Jerry?
Yeah, I've called them. They won't be long.
Okay, good. Did you figure out the stego's cause of death?
I took a blood sample and ran toxicology. She had raised liver enzymes, and the test came back positive for meliotoxin.
Damn, what a way to go.
Yeah, it's sad.
This Anki is definitely dead. For something of this thing's weight, it's quite a fall to sustain. She's not breathing. I assume died on impact.
Man, these dinos are having it rough.
Oh.
Now you, stand back, please. We don't want you in here as well, Martha.
Yeah, please.
She's upset, isn't she?
She's peering down into the moat.
The Euplacephalists have formed a tight-knit little group, so it must be a bit of a blow to see her friend in the moat.
I can imagine. Poor gal.
September 10,
We're down to
1991.
15 Ankies.
Quiet, Jerry.
Oh,
No, I mean, I hear something.
what do you hear?
I think I hear something in... No. It's coming from here.
What is it?
One moment, Jerry, something's down here.
God, don't tell me a second Ankie's fallen into the moat.
One moment. Jerry, are any of the Yankees small enough to fit in the drainage pipe?
They're all about the same size, Muldoon. Why?
I think there's something in there.
Could be anything. A rat, possum, a snake, anything.
No. Sounds bigger.
Why are we going in?
Are you okay?
Yeah, Jerry, yeah. False alarm. I'll be waiting for the crane. Euplacephalus is built like a tank. 9 tons of armored stubbornness. Lucky that crane is rated for 12 tons. Otherwise, that heavy girl would drag the gantry right in there with it. Toughest hide in the park. The armor that kept the Euplacephalus alive is what did her in.
No. No, 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 no.
Today. Sorry for your loss, Martha. Poor girl. Built to survive predators, but not to fall like that. I found the footage from last night to show very uncharacteristic behavior from the Ankylosaur from the moat incident. She seemed agitated or spooked. And then I saw her approach the moat. Highly defensive, she swings her club at what I assume was an attacker. I scrubbed through all the surveillance footage of the Euoplocephalus enclosure, but I couldn't find what she was reacting to. One wrong step later and she slips into the moat, her own weight crushing her on impact.
That's what happened.
That was an arduous ordeal down at the moat. Right then, I'm out here in carnivore country for an evening perimeter check on the Rex paddock. Hammond insisted these recordings, quote, boost visitor confidence. Personally, I'd settle for proper staffing, but here we are. There's some light
Tyrannosaurus
rain
Rex.
coming down, so I'm always a little hesitant about mixing electronics with water.
The big one.
I'm down at the main road. They've been digging for the past few days. They want to expand this whole section, and then the crew will bury tracks in the ground for electric tour vehicles to run on. Now, all zoos and wildlife preserves know that electrical fences are prone to sagging, especially along the upper grid. That topmost wire's flickering from the rain. Not failure yet, but enough to make me uneasy. And with an animal this size, uneasy is one step from dead. I think she's here. Let me try and explain to you what it feels like to be close to a tyrannosaur. She sounds like weight, not wind. When a Rex moves, you don't hear quick steps. You hear mass settling, soil adjusting.
That was debunked.
The air is shifting, electric and exhilarating. It's a different sort of presence, harder to explain. You need to be here in the moment. She's keeping close to the perimeter and moving very slowly.
But where
That's
is
normal this time of night. She prefers stillness at dusk, but she seems a little restless tonight. Her hunting patterns have shifted since the last storm, I think. Did you catch that?
What?
Not a roar, more a confirmation. She's testing her voice, gauging distance. Big predators don't waste energy unless they're calculating something. And she's clever. Far more than the board wants to admit. I can hear her moving. Toes splayed, maybe a little deeper on the left. Limping slightly, could be an injury, or just the terrain. But a wounded apex is the worst kind, much less predictable. The sounds of the other animals in the park must be igniting her hunting instinct and making her restless.
10,000
If
volts.
that top wire drops during another
Keep it
storm,
dinosaur.
even for a moment, she'll know. Animals don't need voltage meters, they feel micro vibrations. She'd sense the lull and approach it, no hesitation. I'll log a maintenance request, replace the midsection coils, reinforce the post line, and, most importantly, notify staff that the Rex is exhibiting territorial agitation. Whether anyone listens remains to be seen. She's pacing me along the fence, staying parallel with me. Hard to see her, the rain's masking her body signature, and she knows how to use cover. She's a patient gal.
Look at the size of that thing.
The feed's been in here since early afternoon. And there's the big girl. Now notice, she's definitely queen of the island, but an apex will
Mumu.
never risk engaging with
Look behind
any
you.
prey unless they are comfortable in the knowledge that they will attain said prey without being injured. An injury for an apex predator means possible starvation, depending on the extent of the injury, of
Oh,
course.
sucks to be you.
That's why African lions will pursue a young wildebeest or an injured impala instead of risking a healthy adult gouging them to death. There's a lot of calculation that goes into deciding prey items, and the Rex won't approach the cow until she's decided that it's safe to do so. Oh. Well, look who it is. This is the juvenile tyrannosaur. Almost 2 years of age, she was brought here several months ago. Understood. The lab wanted... And there they go, crashing through the jungle like nobody's business. The adult is fiercely territorial and will not stand to have the juvenile encroach on her prey. Chief Veterinarian Jerry Harding's daughter is an experienced field biologist, and she was called in to assess the Rexes before it was decided that the two share this enclosure.
Why?
She was adamant that, contrary to common assumption, Rexes are attentive and protective parents. I, however, do not think that extends to an adult Rex adopting a foreign juvenile.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I don't see any way these two can coexist in the same enclosure. But they are the rock star attraction here, so it should go without saying that the needs of the animals once again take a back seat to making profits.
Money, 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 money. Always money.
Anyway, I need to head back before this storm gets worse.
Oh man.
It's S/E/08.
Man, 2 hours.
Yeah, I'm on the east perimeter now.
I'm gonna be
Is
late
it
for work.
freestanding or mounted in a tree
It's
somewhere?
fine, it's fine.
I'm not sure, Muldoon. I think it's in a tree.
Oh. No, it's freestanding. Well, it was. Your motion sensor is now being flattened by a 20-ton sauropod.
Oh, man.
All right.
Oh
Let me
man.
check this out. I'll call you back.
Thanks, Muldoon.
Jurassic Park has quite a sophisticated surveillance system, incorporating image recognition and motion sensors. That's how the total animal tallies are calculated. This is one of the motion sensors. Arnold immediately received an alert in the control room that one had gone offline. He radioed the maintenance crew, but they seemed to be held up at the main road. So I've come here to see what happened to the sensor. Clearly, this big girl has decided to lay right on one. The issue with the cams and the sensors is there needs to be many of them to cover the expansive land area of each of the enclosures. And
Right.
some are huge enclosures. But you don't want to litter them every few yards throughout the paddocks. That will cause them to be damaged by the animal's movements, and also take away from the intended natural aesthetic of the paddocks. So when you erect them on legs and plant them in an enclosure where you have 20-ton foot traffic, you get things like this. Normally I'd have Harding come see her, but my role here is to triage the concern. Actually discover if there is a need for a vet. All right, an apatosaur's down on its side. First order of business. Confirm whether it's injured or simply resting.
Right.
Animals that size don't lie prone unless there's cause. For animals that size, lying down could cause pressure on internal organs. Sudden pressure on the lungs from this posture can be dangerous. I'm watching the rise of the rib cage, slow but steady. Breathing appears normal. I'll approach from the front, where I'm in its line of sight. I'm looking for signs of trauma or dehydration. Scanning the flank now. No abrasions, no swelling, no indication of a fall. The soil's undisturbed around her, suggesting she settled here intentionally, and not from a fall, which is a relief.
Okay.
Skin tone is normal. All signs point to a relaxed, healthy animal. Apatosaurs will sometimes lie on their sides to relieve limb pressure or to doze during the hotter hours of the day. Not common, but not dangerous when the ground is level and the animal's in good condition. Apatosaurs are robust animals, or once they're grounded, it becomes a race against their own weight. The longer a sauropod stays on its side, the more strain builds on the heart and lungs. In this case, nothing to worry about.
You'll be
I'll
okay.
keep a short watch and log the behavior for the vet team, but the animal's fine. Just taking advantage of a quiet moment in the enclosure. And I'll check on them tomorrow, Robbie.
Yep. Hey, your girl's awake.
And here we go. Good morning, madam. Slept in, have you? She's freed the motion sensor, Arnold.
Okay, perfect. I'm going to reboot that one. Hold on to your butts.
So majestic.
For real.
Imagine what our world was like 100 million years ago.
Muldoon, it worked. Just plant it back into the soil and we're good.
Okay, Robbie, get it done.
You know, couple of boys chilling, looking at a T-Rex. Pretty normal. Gosh. Whoa. What you thinking about? Whoa. What's happening? Ah, dude, don't do that. Don't do that. Why would you do that? Bro, is that Bob? Dummy. Idiot. Oh, I hope he bites you, bro. Yeah. Stay like that. Freaking Bob, bro. Oh, man. What? The suspense. Oh! Yeah, they got you. Yeah, the electrocutioner. Got you T-posing, bro. T for T-Rex. Yeah. Yeah. Bob the Boulder.
And they're devastated. He was airlifted to Bahia Anasco, but Regis pronounced him dead before they could bring a stretcher over to the Rex paddock. 10,000 volts will drop a bull elephant, and it damn near cooked him where he stood. The current hit him square through the back of the neck and head, burned straight through the helmet, and left deep char marks, his muscles locked tight as a steel rod. I saw the entry burns plain as day. His body was smoking even after I arrived on scene, and that was a good 10 minutes later. One tug from that animal and he was yanked straight into the live wires. With the fence at full charge, the current went through him instantly. It stopped his heart. There wasn't a second of struggle after the jolt hit. Clean, immediate, a damned waste. But that's the truth of it. Around these paddocks, the animals aren't the only danger.
Right.
The fences will finish the job just as quickly. How many times do I have to say it? Around these fences, one mistake is all it takes. I'm of two minds of this incident. Of course, that was a fellow human being with thoughts and aspirations, and I send my deepest condolences to his family. Yet clearly Gonzalez was lost in conversation with his friend. He's back to the paddock. He didn't even see his attacker. You can't turn your back on a predator ever.
Gonzalez.
They sense it as a weakness, as an
Brother.
opportunity to strike. But that juvenile Rex is something else. She must be learning a thing or two about the fences from the raptors. And speaking of the raptors, we're due to transport them over to this pen any day now. I asked Hammond yesterday as to why we're bringing them over here anyway. His answer
Oh
infuriated.
man, my
He
laptop
said, and I
battery's
quote,
flat.
"It's
Just hang on.
classified." I had a good go at him after that. I'm sensing the scientists know something I don't about the raptors. Don't get me wrong, if this pen increases safety, I'm all for it, which is why I'm out here tonight. The crew told me that the horticulture is finished and they wanted me to sign off on its completion. I can already see a problem, however. There's a lot of activity around here tonight. The rats and critters of the island are busy, I see. From a distance, it all looks tidy enough. But up close, you can see the problem plain as day. These trees have branches that are sturdy enough to take a raptor's weight. Give them a few days to assess this pen and they'll be using those limbs like ladders. The service door in the ceiling may be 12 feet up, but that won't matter if they can climb most of the way up on their own. They're clever and they'll exploit anything that gives them leverage. If we're bringing them in here, all the plant species that sprawl horizontal branches need to be removed entirely. Otherwise, we're giving them a ready-made escape route. Simple miscalculation. One that cost lives. Anyway, here we are. Quiet as ever out here, first thing you notice. This corner of the park might as well be a wood.
Just hang on. See, the problem is this thing's broken. Just hang on. Hey, Zimbabwe.
World of
Okay,
its own.
okay.
No tour
Laptop's
routes,
charged.
no engines, no shouting, just the wind cutting through the grass. Isolation has its advantages, and you can hear trouble long before it's on you. Makes the work cleaner, clearer. I come out here when I need to think. Control room is too loud, too many voices, too many opinions from people who've never had mud on their boots. This place is off limits to the scientists back in control. Not that any of them would be ballsy enough to trek out into the park on their own. They're brave behind glass and cameras. Out here's a different story. Hammond calls it secluded. I call it a blessing. Out here, the park almost feels gentle. Almost. Tranquil moments like these never last long, though.
Oof.
Right then, a home away from home. Modest little place, but it does the job. This outpost is my personal office. I share this space with Tony, our behavioral paleontologist. Sharp as they
Tony.
come, though he's got a knack for spreading papers everywhere. His time is spent between here and Site B. That's Tony's desk. Man's a genius, but he types like a woodpecker on caffeine. My cubicle's over here, nothing fancy. Field logs, radio, maps of the island, everything I need. That cabinet, tranks, flares, shotguns, tools you pray you won't need, but out here you're a fool if you don't keep them within arm's reach.
Yeah.
There's the main stash in the garage, but I've also got supplies here.
Stay armed.
Place may be
Stay
small,
alive.
purpose-built, and it keeps the
stay
park at
alert,
arm's
stay
length
armed,
long
stay
enough for
alive.
us to think.
Oh,
Not a bad perch for the start of the day. Good place for a proper drink, too. Away from the shenanigans or the computer scientists up at control. I enjoy the tropical nature of this island. Vastly different from the drier climate of Kenya, that's for sure. From here you can see half the bloody island. The patasaurs are up, moving like the whole world's on their schedule. And that was proven yesterday. Look at the size of that girl. Magnificent creatures.
beautiful.
I can even peer into the T-Rex paddock from here. Yikes! Didn't expect you to be so close. The adult's up, bathing in the lagoon. She sometimes gets sick if she drinks from that lagoon. Not sure why exactly. Wonder if she ever got to that cow. Sometimes we'll put a prey item in here and they survive for a few days, especially the goats. Because they're smaller, they can hide in all sorts of places the adult Rex can't get to. Which is why we're testing using cows to feed the Rexes. But perhaps whatever animal is dropped into there should be tied or something, so that we can monitor the feeding patterns more closely. And here's yesterday's villain, the juvenile. Thought she'd be keeping to the back after what happened. That business with the workmen. Ugly bit of misjudgment on everyone's part. She was, however, only being an animal, a predator. Didn't understand the fence would finish the job. Best not dwell on it.
Yeah,
She gets the short end of things in there. The adult takes nearly every prey item we drop in. Massive, dominant, always first to the kill. She leaves this youngster to scrape by on whatever slips through the fence. Rats, possums, anything foolish enough to wander in after dark. Still, she's learning, watching. I think she's come across something for breakfast right now. What the? That's a raptor.
Robert, there's no question that's a juvenile raptor. The one that Wu approved to join the original 3.
Understood. No arguments there, Ray. My question is how the bloody hell did it end up in the mouth of a tyrannosaur?
I'm not entirely sure, Muldoon. Can you give me a minute?
I need answers, Ray.
I understand, Robert, and I'm going to give you those answers as soon as I search for what I need first.
Can you do me a favor, Ray? Can you run a total animal count for me?
What? Why?
Just do it, please.
One moment. Total animals expected and found are the same. And before you ask, Velociraptor number expected, 3. Number found, 3. The computer has adjusted and accounted for the young raptor in the Rex paddock.
Marvelous. The computer can track home ranges too, yes?
The computer can give visual animal tracking data, yes.
Great. Show me where this young raptor was 24 hours ago.
Okay. Sorry, Muldoon, I'm getting some sort of error. It's saying no data available for the last 24 hours.
Try the 24 hours before that.
Yeah, that's odd. Same thing. Must be a bug in the code or something. I'm scheduling a visit from a computer systems analyst in a few days because sometimes the computer shows some anomalies that are impossible. So we're still working on refining.
Can the computer tell me when the raptor count went from 4 to 3?
Yes. It says September 1st.
September 1st? That's when she was transferred to the enclosure. That doesn't make sense.
No, it doesn't, Henry.
There's definitely a coding issue with these computers.
You're telling me.
I did manage to pull up the home ranges of the raptors on September 1st. It says all 6 raptors are present until about late afternoon. 6 become 5, and that's when, Muldoon, you spotted one dead in the enclosure. Several hours later, the tally drops to 4. That's the raptor that got electrocuted. And then...
No, that's not right.
What do you mean?
The raptor that got electrocuted died on the night of September 2nd, not
Yeah.
the 1st.
That's a discrepancy, obviously.
I agree, Wu, because the next day, September 2nd, the tally drops to 3.
I was under the impression that there were 3 raptors present by the evening of September 2nd, after the electrocution incident.
So what's the problem?
What's the problem? Let me list them for you, Henry, shall I?
Please
1,
do.
you approved the transfer of a raptor to an enclosure without my knowledge,
Yeah.
potentially putting lives at risk. 2, there was a 4th raptor in the enclosure on September 9th. And 3, the young raptor in the Rex's jaws right now was supposed to have died on September 1st, according to the computer.
Muldoon.
Why has it taken 2 weeks for this issue to come to light? And it only has come to light because I witnessed it. Aren't the computers meant to alert you to changes in animal numbers? Unless the computer is correct and the young raptor you transferred did in fact die on September 1st, and we're looking at an animal that is unaccounted for altogether.
What are you implying, Robert?
I don't know what I'm implying, to be honest. Perhaps that young raptor is not the raptor you transferred.
What? So you're implying that a group composed entirely of female animals will breed?
I don't have answers for you, Henry. I only have questions.
There's no unauthorized breeding in Jurassic Park.
Yes, I understand that.
You want confirmation of that, Muldoon?
Wouldn't hurt.
Attain that young raptor before the Rex consumes it. I'll take a sample and prove to you that's one of ours.
Oh.
Okay, Arnold, we've reached the transport gate at the north of the paddock, requesting clearance.
Yep. Hold on to your butts.
Tyrannosaurus
Computer is
containment.
locating the Rexes.
Okay, let's go.
Robert Muldoon, Game Warden of Jurassic Park, Tyrannosaurus Rex Paddock, Isla Nublar, 14th of September, 1991. With me, Robbie and Tony. Tony will be driving, or perhaps in this
Hey, Tony.
instance, dodging, and Robbie is responsible for reloading the needles and acting as an extra pair of eyes, which in here, you definitely need.
I brought the
Today's
snacks.
task is tranquilizing the
If anyone
juvenile
else wants
Tyrannosaur. Arnold, how's it looking?
I've got visual confirmation of both. The adult is far in the south, but the juvenile is almost directly straight ahead of you.
Understood.
Yeah.
Clearance granted. After you enter, the gates will be locked behind you. You need to give control to Word before the gate will reopen on your exit.
Understood.
Okay, let's go.
All right. Eyes open all the time.
Yeah, we got it. Woohoo!
You're clear, Tony.
Safari Drive, Safari Drive. There we go. Yeah.
She's about 1 mile directly ahead of you, Muldoon.
Ooh,
Rightio.
Ooh.
Tony, 12 o'clock.
little bumpy.
Keep her slow and steady.
She's right at the tree line, Muldoon.
Understood. We're in her living room now. Juvenile won't look like much, but don't let size fool you.
yeah.
Younger
This
animals
is
are
fun.
faster, sloppier, and they bite first and think later. I want a clear shot to the neck. Tony, the moment I give the signal, slow the Jeep to a roll. When I make the shot, pull back, and then we wait. The good thing about the Tyrannosaurs is you don't have to go looking for them. In here, they'll come to you.
Half mile, Muldoon.
Eyes wide open, both of you. Arnold, update on the adult's location.
About 4 miles on your 2 o'clock. You're good.
Excellent.
She's moving, Muldoon. The juvenile, she's at your 10.
Expected. Ease us left, Tony. That's it.
Quarter mile, Muldoon.
Got it.
There.
What?
Good work, Robbie. Arnold, Robbie's made eyes on her.
Nice, Robbie.
Keep yours on the adult.
Gotcha.
She's making a dash. She's decided flight, not fight. Probably because she wants to keep that prize in her jaws for herself. Tony, I want us parallel with her, but give her enough distance so she can come out from the tree line. I want her away from the trees. When she comes out, I'll take the shot.
Yeah.
The last thing I want is for her to injure herself, go thrashing about out of fear and disorientation. Tiring her to a slow jog would be ideal. That way she can drop on the spot. That's it. Keep some distance. She's definitely tiring.
Come on, come on, come on.
Easy.
Yeah.
Easy, Tony.
Okay. Yes.
Line me up with her neck, Tony.
You got it. No, good shot. Good shot.
Arnold, what's your reading
Good
on
shot.
the adult?
Good shot.
She's far, Muldoon.
All right. Keep her on your screen and notify me if she moves.
I'm watching her.
Good. Tony, keep the Jeep running. I'd like to document the tranking. Stay sharp. Your eyes constantly scanning. If you hear the ground shake or feel the Jeep rock, you know what to do.
Yep.
Now, that girl really didn't want to get caught. But that's understandable, since she doesn't get much feed when the adult is around.
Yeah.
So she must have felt very protective of her kill. But that raptor is mine now, and I know whose desk I'll be throwing it on, that's for sure. The juvenile tyrannosaur was tranquilized with a standard animal trank used in zoos worldwide, Moro 709, designed to slow something big without stopping its heart. It works on the nervous system, and it takes a little moment to really bite. The launch is heavy, but the payload is heavy, and that's deliberate. One solid hit with the muscles thick gives us a chance to end this without her charging the Jeep. Moro 709 is the difference between control and chaos. Moro 709 is measured for mass, not age, and juveniles metabolize quicker, which means the window's shorter. Here we've got an animal that has just completed a several-mile dash, so we've got adrenaline and other stimulant hormones coursing through its blood at the moment, hastening the drug's action. Animal dose is partly body weight and partly temperament. You shoot the same dose of 709 into an elephant, a hippo, and a rhino, you'll immobilize the elephant, so it just stands there like a statue. You'll slow down the hippo, so it gets kind of sleepy, but it keeps moving. And the rhino will just get fighting mad. But on the other hand, you chase a rhino for more than 5 minutes in a car, and he'll drop dead from adrenaline shock. Strange combination of tough and delicate. Arnold, update.
She's still far.
Good. You know what, Ray? While she's down, you should ask Harding to give her her quart of dental. Hasn't it been 4 months since the last? You've got a good 3-hour window, as long as the adult doesn't approach. Maybe have him check her muzzle for lacerations from the electric fence incident yesterday, too.
Good idea. I'll call him now.
Okay, let me find this raptor. Here we are. I don't really know what... It's a velociraptor, all right, and a young one, just as Arnold said. I just don't know how the Rex got to it. I don't get it. This wouldn't have happened if that damn Henry Wu wasn't making foolish decisions, like introducing new animals without discussing it with the ground team first. Okay, let me think. Wu said that young raptor was introduced into the enclosure on September 1st. It's the 14th today, and this doesn't look like the decay and decomposition of something 2 weeks dead. In fact, it looks fresh. Wounds look fresh.
Look at the rows of
I don't want to touch the thing, but I assume it's warm, either because rigor mortis hasn't set in yet, or because it was in the mouth of a panting tyrannosaur running several miles. Either way, I'm not convinced this thing has been dead for much longer than a couple of hours. And on top of that, A Rex is not going to eat fortnight-old roadkill. Yet the juvenile Rex is living off scraps and perpetually hungry, so I wouldn't put it past her. It just doesn't add up, and this enclosure is so large it'd take weeks to do a deep area sweep to look for any sort of answers. Much the same needs to be done with a raptor enclosure. Is there something we've missed? Something allowing the passage of a raptor from its enclosure into this enclosure? And if so...
Muldoon!
Christ, Arnold,
Oh,
is the adult
man.
approaching?
No, not that.
Then what?
Muldoon, the computer is showing there's a velociraptor near you.
No, you don't say.
Not that one, damn it. There's one about 300 feet to your left.
What?
Muldoon?
I'm here, Ray. Can you see it on the cams?
I can't see it, but the computer has recognized it as a raptor. But that's impossible, right?
Improbable, but never impossible. Robbie,
Yeah?
get back in the Jeep.
You okay?
Go, now! Ray, give me a count of the raptors.
Yep. It says 4, Muldoon.
Explain that to me, Ray.
Either the computer is buggy or it's counting the dead raptor.
Wu didn't release a whole pack of them into the Rex paddock without telling anyone again, did he?
Let me look into this. Give me a minute, Muldoon.
Ray?
I'm just looking at this, Muldoon.
What do you see? Because I see no raptor.
This is a little out of my depth. 1 minute.
How does the computer know it's a raptor?
Image recognition.
An image of a 6-foot-tall theropod.
Essentially.
Tell me how the computer distinguishes between the Hypsilophodons and the Othnielia. They're virtually identical from a physical standpoint.
Like I said, Muldoon, a little out of my depth. As chief engineer and computer systems manager, I'm overseeing power distribution, security systems, and automated controls. I'm not a programmer and systems architect. I don't create the software.
Ooh, but
Oh, wow.
sassy, aren't you?
What?
The raptor count is back to 3.
What the bloody hell is going on with your damn computers?
I'm just reporting to you what I see, Muldoon.
Oh, man. Where is it?
Is it possible that the computer...
Oh!
Christ! Blasted monkey!
Are you okay?
What's happening with the raptor count, Ray?
Ray.
So a bug in the system then?
I guess so, Muldoon.
Right.
Sorry, Muldoon. The computer showed me that there
I
was...
think the biggest problem with this park is how much faith everyone is placing in computers. Seeing things with my own eyes will always be better than relying on any computer. You can't control everything, especially nature.
Yeah.
There's just too many... Holy. Thanks
Ah!
for keeping your eye on the Rex, Ray.
Oh,
You good, Muldoon?
Go.
Must go fast.
Oh, man.
Put your foot down, Tony. You can't just stroll down the road, you know?
Go, 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 go.
Climbing failure, the mission. No raptor left the juveniles sedated on the ground.
Oh, man.
Good thing we got the adult far away from her. I've said it how many times, that adult is fiercely territorial. And seeing our jeep in her enclosure must have infuriated
Senor
her.
Muldoon,
Yes?
I need you urgent at the Jungle River Cruise, please.
He fell in.
He fell in.
Si, senor.
Was he drinking?
No, senor. The animal hit him.
The animal hit him?
He scream, he no see, he shake, and then he stop.
Right.
Down there.
Where? Oh.
What's his name?
Manuel.
Manuel. Can you hear me? You said the animal hit him?
Si, senor.
How?
It spit on him.
Have you had a chance to watch the footage, Jerry?
Yeah, I did, Muldoon.
What do you think?
Man,
Have you
poor
seen anything like
Manuel.
this before?
Not with the Dilos, no. What
him
exactly
out
did
then,
the
get him
foreman
out, get
say
him
to
out.
you he saw?
He said it spat at Manuel.
Ouch.
And Manuel was on the retaining wall?
Yes,
Sorry,
we're
bro.
talking some 50 feet up, Jerry.
Wow.
He said it spat something, hitting Manuel in the face. The man begins screaming, complaining he can't see. He said he stumbled blindly towards the barrier and fell over the wall into the enclosure.
Yikes, that's crazy.
He survives the fall, tries to stand, starts shaking, and then the foreman described him as not moving. I sounded the horns. You know more than anyone how the Dilos are pretty responsive to the horns. And Arnold told me all of them are in the holding pen now.
Where are they taking Manuel?
Probably Bahia and Nasco.
Okay. Where are you now?
I'm heading to the holding pen to see what I can find out, Jerry. To the rear of the river cruise is the Dilophosaurus holding pen. This pen is used to round the animals. Jerry Harding accidentally discovered that the Dilos are particularly responsive to the sound of horns. So horn recordings are blasted from speakers around the Dilo paddock that help herd the animals into this holding pen. The pen is deliberately maintained several degrees cooler and at a lower light level than the surrounding paddocks because the Dilophosaurs carry a known genetic skin disorder, which leaves their skin unusually susceptible to ultraviolet exposure. Prolonged sunlight results in rapid sunburn, blistering, and possible secondary infection.
Oh, okay.
For that reason, shade is paramount in their enclosure. You'll notice that within their enclosure is dense canopy cover. Artificial and controlled lighting cycles limiting UV exposure. The cooler, darker environment keeps the animals calmer, reduces pacing, and prevents visible skin damage. It's quite a small area, and there are 7 animals in here. The Dilophosaurs are painfully shy dinosaurs. InGen made 2 batches of them, and Henry Wu was quick to jump on the idea of having the most up-to-date recreation, and began work on sequencing the genome of Dilophosaurus sinensis, the newer of the Dilo species, fossils of which having been excavated as recently as the 80s. This species is smaller, and there's 4 of them in here. Hammond saw the 4 adults Henry had recreated and wasn't too impressed. He insisted Henry genetically engineer the Dilophosaurus weatherilli, the larger of the 2. 3 of them were cloned, and both species live in this same enclosure here at Jurassic Park without issue. I want to show both species if possible. Both are nocturnal, so it's very likely that they are sleeping at the moment. Here we go. This is Dilo sinensis, the smaller species. These guys are less prone to the sunburn skin issue, yet I have witnessed peeling between the crests if they're out of the shade for prolonged periods of time. These guys grow to about 4 foot tall and are mostly timid, yet they start to become curious about you pretty quickly if you hang about them for a bit. However, they tend to be pretty quiet most of the time. Sorry, girl. Back to sleep.
Whoa, whoa. Sorry. It's quite a beauty, man. Look at it.
Hear that? If you didn't know there were Dilophosaurs here, you'd be forgiven in thinking that what you're hearing is the hooting of an owl. But it's no owl. That's the call of Dilophosaurus weatherilli. They actually creep me out. Like I said, they're the larger of the 2 species, but they're actually quite attentive to people. I would say the closest thing to them would probably be Australia's cassowary. But they are quite remarkable animals. They tend to deeply focus on their handlers and study them closely. And they have what I believe to be a very haunting characteristic. And I want to document such. She's right there.
Where?
If I can just get her to step out.
Okay, I kind of see it. Can you see it? Yeah, something is there. Yeah. Oh. Oh.
This is why
Hello,
they
hello.
freak me out. See
How you
this
doing?
behavioral display? They seem to size up their opponent in an attempt to intimidate equally sized threats. As you can see, this girl is quite a bit larger than the Sinensis species, the green ones. She stands at about 8 foot tall, which already gives a cassowary a run for its money. But this display would make anyone fear for their lives. The first time I encountered this animal was on orientation to the park, and it was nighttime. This thing nearly made me fire an entire round into my pants with that creepy sway and hooting it does. But it's absolutely a beautiful animal with that jaguar-like hide and
Yeah,
those
no,
red crests
it
atop
is
its
beautiful.
head. That's a chopper coming to collect Manuel from the Dilo enclosure. I'm waiting for them to airlift him out, and then I want to enter while these girls are still in here. But by the looks of it, it'll be evening before Regis makes the call to allow any of us to re-enter the enclosure. He's the park's PR person, and what that means here is he needs to make sure any accident is promptly contained and no one asks questions. I'm now in the Dilophosaur enclosure proper. This habitat is currently part of 2 major rides at the park, the electric vehicle tour and the Jungle River cruise. The back end of this paddock leads up to the retaining wall that poor Manuel fell off. I've become so curious to see something that I thought I saw when I first peered down off the wall, and then later thought I spotted in the footage. Here's the retaining wall, and here's where Manuel landed. The poor soul's helmet is still in the water, and this is the interesting part that I wanted to take note of. This black substance pooling around the helmet. Let me take a closer look.
Yeah, what is that?
On the water here, I don't like thick, black, almost tar-like. Not natural runoff, not oil. It's viscous. It doesn't smell like anything I recognize.
Are you sure it isn't decomposed plant matter or resin? That enclosure's humid, plenty of biological breakdown.
Could be.
Don't touch your face, whatever you do. Does it feel warm? Any reaction on your skin?
Negative on the heat. It's cold, actually. But it's not sap. Sap doesn't coat like this. It's not like honey.
Dilophosaurs aren't known to excrete anything like that. Are there injuries on the dilos? Any signs of illness?
That's the troubling part. I checked them after we herded them into the holding pen. Clean, alert, no visible trauma, no lethargy. Yet this substance is on some of the railings atop the wall Manuel fell from. I can easily understand slipping on something like this.
You're implying some kind of defensive secretion, Muldoon.
I'm moving in deeper, Jerry. I'll sweep the perimeter first, then work inward. If there's more of that substance, it won't all be on bare rock.
Proceed slowly. Dense vegetation traps residue. Anything expelled with force will settle low once gravity takes over. Watch for patterns, not just accumulation. Smears and streaks, pooling at the base of stems. That's where behavior leaves its fingerprints.
Water's cloudy here. Silt and organic matter, but nothing stands out yet. No sheen on the surface, no discoloration. If this were waste runoff, I'd expect a gradient. There's nothing consistent.
That's why the lower vegetation matters, Robert. Fecal waste follows predictable patterns. It breaks down quickly in water, disperses evenly, clings loosely to plant matter. You'd see diffuse staining, microbial bloom, a smell, ammonia, sulfur compounds. It certainly wouldn't appear elevated unless carried by flood surge, and the Jungle River hasn't flooded to that scale.
So if it's concentrated under the brush,
Then it suggests deposition, not runoff.
I'm checking the bases now. Nothing, just rot, mud, and insect life. Normal decay. If this
These guys are
substance
smart.
was here recently, it's not widespread. Whatever happened, it happened in a narrow corridor.
That narrows the event window. It means the worker didn't stumble into a contaminated area by chance. He intersected it. And if there's no residue beneath the vegetation elsewhere, then this isn't a chronic biological byproduct. It's episodic.
I don't like episodic animals, Jerry. Especially ones we think we understand. I'm coming up empty so far. No pooled residue in the low spots. Either it was cleaned by the rain or it was never meant to linger.
Or it was precise. Used once.
Mark my words, Jerry, there's more to the dilos than we know. I've reached drier ground now, no standing water. If that black substance was carried by runoff, it should thin out here.
We'd need to examine the cellular architecture under light microscopy. If it's fecal in origin, you'll see fragmented plant cells, microbial colonies. If it's secreted tissue, you'll find organized structures, glandular cells, protein matrices.
So you're looking for intent again, design versus waste.
Precisely. If it's a bodily secretion or there's an enzymatic agent involved, histology will show proteins, crystallized enzymes, or storage vesicles.
Let me run something by you, Jerry.
Sure.
Is it possible that this substance is a kind of venom?
Oh,
Picture it like this. That
Okay, we onto
substance
something.
behaving like a hunting aid.
Venom.
If it can be expelled accurately, it explains the splatter height and why a man lost his footing so fast. A blinding or incapacitating agent meant to immobilize a prey item without a prolonged struggle.
venom as a projectile.
Yes, spitting cobra style.
That would require specialized anatomy, not something that appears accidentally. Fossil records never suggested it. But I will admit our animals are already diverged from expectation.
We sedate one and conduct exploratory surgery. Check the maxilla, the jawline, the neck. If there are glands, ducts, anything resembling a storage structure, people are getting hurt because we're assuming limits that may not exist.
Muldoon, you know John would kick up a stink about putting one under the knife for
Who
the
cares
sake of
about John?
exploration.
True, but let's say he's on board and we confirm anything even close to the idea of these animals being venomous. Containment protocols must change immediately. The river cruise cannot stay as it is. Open boats filled with people. If these animals can project something outward, distance and shielding become mandatory.
You all right, Muldoon?
Yeah, Jerry, compies.
Ah, the cleanup crew are there.
They're feeding on something, Jerry. Looks like hatchling birds. And Jerry, there's that same black substance.
Small prey wouldn't require physical restraint. This aligns far more with envenomation than blunt force predation.
If the Dilophosaurs did this, they didn't need to chase or climb. They let this substance do the work.
Venom used on prey implies a deliberate targeting behavior. Enough to kill birds, possibly enough to paralyze a man.
That means we're done pretending this is theoretical. Birds today, workers tomorrow, guests after that if we're careless. This confirms it for me. These animals are hunting, with more than teeth and claws, and the park is not designed for predators that hunt from a distance.
And watch yourself around the compies. Don't let them nip you.
This is one of 7 lookout points along the length of the Jungle River throughout the park. This one peers into the Dilophosaur enclosure specifically, but the others look out onto Sauropod Swamp to see the Apatosaurs and Hadrosaurs, etc., with the river eventually winding through the aviary.
gotta
Still
say,
far
the
from
architect
completion,
is
but the
good.
general idea is guests
Good
can
job.
join the river cruise at any one of these 7 entry points, board a raft, and sail past several enclosures to get that up-close and personal experience that Hammond wants for all his guests. There's still a boarding ramp and jetty and things to add here, with the date of completion being somewhere before the end of next year. Yet regarding the Dilo specifically, Hammond definitely won't be thrilled about the idea of having large segments of this ride change so drastically. He's always said that he doesn't want his guests to feel like they are watching animals in a zoo. Getting them close to the animals is something he won't budge on. He always says everyone in the world has a right to enjoy these animals. Enjoy being the key word, not just view them, but enjoy them. But with safety in mind, either some sort of glass barricade needs to be erected alongside the electric fences to prevent the Dilophosaurs from shooting guests in the face with what is potentially venom. Or the rafts used on the Jungle River ride need to be enclosed. Both options call for divorcing the park visitor from the attraction. And if I know Hammond, which I do very well, he won't want to explore either option. I've got some movement in there. One of the Dilos might be taking a swim, which is rare. They can swim, but all the workers here have never spotted one actually crossing water. So this might be a first. No way.
What was that?
Come on, Arnold. Pick up, damn it, come on.
What was that?
That's definitely a raptor. I can't tell from here which one it is, though.
What was
Looks
that?
like the shape of Storm, her head movements, but I can't be sure. Absolutely an adult velociraptor. How did she get out? Damn it, where is control when you need them? Arnold, come in. Arnold, are you there? Robbie, can you hear me?
Yeah, Muldoon?
Robbie, where's Arnold?
He's asleep. Why?
Asleep.
Yeah, it's 2 a.m., Muldoon.
Shit.
I doubt anyone's in the control room at this hour. What do you need?
I need a raptor count.
Yeah, I wouldn't know how to do that even if I got down there.
Can you meet me at the Jungle River between the Dilos and Sauropod Swamp?
Let me put something on.
It's left the water. Now that I've got a clearer view, I don't think that's Storm at all.
Oh
I don't
no,
know
it's
who
trying
it
to
is,
contact
to be
something.
honest. And
It's
I don't want
calling.
to risk shooting and hitting the fence instead. That would create a massive issue. My best bet is to prevent it from leaving my sight. But how the bloody hell did it escape?
Oh man. Why must this happen?
It's calling now. I don't know what to think anymore. This is messed up. It's making a move, heading back down towards the water. I think, shit! There's really no way to get closer without entering the Dilophosaur enclosure.
Think. What can we do?
No, she's back. Oh, shit. Yeah, it's injured herself. No, just going to shake it
10,000
off.
volts?
Oh, shit, I need to
Will
get
protect
closer, but I
us.
don't want to scare it off.
Stop calling. Stop.
Damn it, you're not gonna get away from me. She's heading back to the water. I think I know a way to get downstream and intercept it. But that forces me to enter the jungle river. Was heading towards the north end of the enclosure. And there's only one way to get there from here.
Do we have to go in the water?
If my calculations are right, I think I know
man.
exactly where it will pop out from. And I can meet it right there. The trick is to not startle it and have it panic and take a different route, disappearing again. I'm not going to speed through here. Compies. These guys have taken on a whole new level of creep factor, now that I suspect they spit venom.
Oh, creepy.
Can't believe it, how one escaped is beyond me. This is the Jungle River Cruise Gate, which should follow through to the north of the Dilo enclosure. My best guess is that raptor should be close, assuming that it's racing in a fairly straight line. Enclosure needs a thorough combing to make sure. Shit! There it is. I'm of two minds about this right now. If I positively ID this as one of ours, and Control can track its movements since leaving its enclosure, then I'll be waiting for Robbie with the tranks. Won't be killing it. However, if this is the raptor from the evening of September 9th, yeah, that's not one of ours.
Ooh.
I've never seen this thing before. Don't even know what to say. The markings are nothing like the current three. The composure is off. It's just... I don't understand how this can be. Where did you come from? I've worked with all 8 raptors from the get-go here on Nubla, and I remember them very distinctly. What the hell have you done, Henry? Okay, that was definitely a raptor call. Or is my mind inventing things? Come on, Robert, think. You're at the junction between the Dilo enclosure and Sauropod Swamp. There's some good 4 or 5 miles between here and the raptors. Their calls don't travel that far, not like the Rexes, whose roars are more resonant. That sounds guttural. Almost submerged.
Oh.
Oh, Christ. There's definitely something submerged. No, thank you.
Yeah, let's get out, bro. Oh.
little early even for you, Robert.
John, I'm calling from the river. I'm alone out
Can't believe
here
you're
and
dead,
I've got a
bro.
body in the raft with me. Velociraptor, fresh
In
kill.
the head.
And before you ask,
Shot you in the
no,
head.
it's not one of ours.
Robert, that's quite a way to begin a conversation at 3 a.m. Are you certain? We catalogue every animal on the island very carefully.
I'm certain enough to have put a round through its head. Patterning's wrong, build's unfamiliar, and it was nowhere near the enclosure it should have been.
Animals wander. You know that better than anyone, Robert. How often are you finding the Othnielia wandering in the stegosaur paddock?
You're joking.
Island Nubla isn't a museum display. It's a living system. Henry assures me.
With respect, John, Henry isn't the one walking into the jungle at night.
Sure.
Something's off. Between my sightings of a fourth raptor
Oh.
a week ago, the juvenile Rex finding a baby raptor, and now this, it feels like pieces moving without us authorizing them. Something nefarious at play, I dare say.
You sound tired, Robert, and understandably so. But nefarious is a very strong word. Park is built on redundancy and oversight. Henry Wu has every genome, every behavioral parameter well in hand.
That's precisely what worries me, but let me bring up a more concrete topic once again. The raptors being moved to the holding pen. I wasn't given a reason, and I'd like that reason. Raptors don't get relocated casually, John. They notice things like that.
Yeah.
There are adjustments planned, improvements. The current enclosure needs to be modified, and it's simpler to remove the animals entirely during the process.
Adjustments for what?
All right. Confidentially, and this does not leave this call, we're preparing a new batch. Next year, Isla Sorna. Refinements have been made. Temperament, visual appeal, some cosmetic considerations that will play better with the public.
You're making raptors friendlier.
Presentable, Robert. Awe-inspiring rather than alarming. Think of it as evolution with intention.
Raptors don't belong anywhere the public can see them, John. Not behind glass, not behind moats, not behind a chipper tour guide recording in a car.
Imagine it. Velociraptor Valley. A dedicated attraction. Elevated paths, reinforced barriers, controlled sight lines. People would come from all over the world.
People would die from all over the world. These animals test fences for sport. They probe. One failure, one oversight, and it's chaos. They should all be destroyed.
You're being an alarmist again, Robert.
I'm being experienced.
Yeah.
And I value that experience, Robert, truly. But the park cannot be run on fear.
Then let me give you another reason to be cautious. The Dilophosaurs. Harding and I believe they may be capable of projecting venom. We've found residue, secondary kills, patterns that don't align with any known waste or secretion.
Venom-spitting Dilophosaurs. You see why that sounds sensational?
No, I see why ignoring it would be convenient for InGen. We want authorization for exploratory surgery. One animal, controlled environment, confirm it or rule it out.
Surgery introduces risk, Robert. Stress, infection, fallout, etc., etc. These animals are expensive, Robert.
Workers are more so.
Yeah.
I won't approve invasive procedures based on suspicion alone. Henry would also object strongly.
Henry isn't the one cataloging bodies.
That's enough. I hear your concerns. I truly do, Robert. And I will think about it. But for now, get some rest.
And this dead raptor before me?
We're building something extraordinary here, Robert. Don't let the darkness of the jungle convince you otherwise.
The jungle doesn't convince me of anything, John. It just shows me what's already there. And that
Just
doesn't
a
answer
little
my
curious,
question.
huh?
Deliver it to the east dock in a container, and we'll use it for lab sampling on Site B. Good night, Robert.
Wow. I don't think you've understood the nature of my concern one bit, John.
I understand that you've had a rather action-packed adventure at night, and the adrenaline of the outing has caused you to be overly animated about your findings. The computer does not make errors counting our animals. So I'm a mixture of saddened and relieved to say that you're the one that's made the error.
What?
Which I'm not blaming you, of course,
Really,
Robert.
bro?
You've had a long night and you're tired. So I strongly suggest getting some much-deserved rest. The park needs its game warden at his best.
I'm currently in the service corridor between the Rex holding pen and the paddock proper. The adult was returned to the paddock, so both Rexes are back in here now. Tomorrow we should administer the lysine to the adult Rex.
Okay.
We can do that by simply leaving the tablet in the enclosure rather than separating, as the juvenile doesn't yet dare to approach the adult while she's feeding. Here's our juvenile, eyes glowing. Predator's eyes often appear to glow in the dark because of a reflective layer behind the retina called the tapetum lucidum. It acts like a mirror, bouncing incoming light back through the photoreceptors to improve vision in low light conditions. You tend to see this in nocturnal hunters like lions or hyenas. She's waiting here, expecting a cow or a goat, since she hasn't eaten in over a week in accordance with the lysine protocol. She definitely looks menacing crouched like that, assessing the gate.
No kidding.
She's realized that food isn't coming, so she's off. I must admit, it is good to see her approaching the gate, holding her own. As she grows, she's going to start taking up space, both physically and with regards to marking out her territory. We don't know enough of Rex territorial range, but I think it's safe to say that they...
Oh, come on.
This one has a knack for sneaking. I guess this is a perfect example of misconceptions people have regarding animals in captivity. Earlier today in the holding pen, we saw her behave quite docile and calm. People always complain about visiting zoos and finding the lions always sleeping.
Yeah.
Let me tell you, when the sun goes down, they are completely different animals, as are all nocturnal carnivores, and the Rexes are no exception. Jerry, I thought you said they fed the big one this afternoon.
That's correct, Muldoon. 4 p.m.
The crane's still here.
Oh, I thought they'd have finished up by now.
Me too. I'll call you back, Jerry.
Okay.
Whoa. Why is the feeding gate still open? Christ! Andre, close the damn feeder. No.
Why is it open? Where's it? Oh.
Good God.
Oh my goodness. Hey, yo. Yo, W video. My goodness. Oh, there you go. The W video from Awada. Muldoon's log. Now thank you guys for watching this video. Is there anything else? Yeah. Now thank you for watching. Like, subscribe. I gotta go. Bye.